I have so many triggers that take me down to the trauma memories and the torture memories because of what the cult did. And so, because the cult did so many different abuse scenarios pretending to be doctors and nurses, where they would actually cause physical pain and where they would do things to try and control us, and of course, sexually assault us, that was always part of the torture. So many parts of me inside are afraid of doctors and nurses and hospitals and those settings. So my regular family doctor says I have white coat syndrome, where my blood pressure automatically goes up, even when I think I'm being calm, because I am in a setting, even though she's not wearing like a doctor's white coat, even though I trust her. But for things like surgery, or when I don't know the doctor, or when it's something that I am worried is going to be intrusive or really triggering, I have to do so much to prepare to go to those appointments. So I bring a safe bag that's what I call it, where I put things that help me feel safer and grounded for different parts of me. And I also try to make sure I have something for all of my senses, like taste and smell, um, texture, visual, to help me feel safer, and even auditory, because it helps me to ground and it helps different parts in me to ground. I also, before I have to do something like surgery or any intrusive medical test, even like a pap smear, which is so incredibly triggering for me, um, I have to remind everyone inside that we are safe, that this is the present, not the past, to look out through my eyes, to see through my ears, to know where we are right now, that we are safe, and that no one inside who feels too vulnerable or doesn't want to be there has to be there. Like, they don't have to be there. They can go way deep inside and lose awareness, while the rest of us who can be there. And then I intentionally draw on protector parts of me. I call them tough guys, the ones who were first created by cults to be cruel to us, but now, over time and therapy and healing, have become protectors, where they can be out in my body with me to help me feel stronger. And then I'm also talking to my best friend repeatedly before and after, because there's so many things that are triggering. And early on, I had to have someone go with me. I was really lucky to be able to have my therapist go with me a few times to some really triggering medical things like surgery, or a good friend. And that helped. But all of it brings back emotional flashbacks, visual and auditory flashbacks of the torture that was done to me by my abusers pretending to be doctors and nurses, even though I can see through it, even though I know that it was cult, and I know that they weren't doctors and nurses, although there were actually some members who actually were doctors and nurses in their regular lives. But the way that the parts of me are scared of it is because of how the cult dressed up for those abuse scenarios. Even though I can see through all that, and I know that's not what, like, these doctors are not going to torture me the way the cult did, they're not going to sexually assault me the way the cult did, I still have so much fear and so many long-term effects from the torture and the mind control and the sexual assault. And that makes sense. It's, how can we not have effects from torture and trauma, and especially ongoing severe extreme torture and sexual assault that was for most of my life? It took me most of my life to get safe. But even if it hadn't, it was so severe and extreme that there would be long-term effects still. And I know there are for other survivors too. That's what trauma does. But over time, working on different techniques and having more support, it's gotten a little bit easier, but it's still hard. I prefer natural medicine because I am less scared, and I, like, the cult also used a lot of drugs on me to control me and to do different things. So I am scared of pharmaceuticals still, but I trust more natural supplements, and I work with a naturopath and a naturopathic student to help me with physical health issues. I still go to my family doctor, but I will first go to my naturopath because I feel safer. It's not as triggering, and I have such a good relationship with her. I feel so safe, and that matters so much.